staying with us. We have in studio and we are in conversation with astrologer Linda Shaw. Linda, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, I've just gone through some tweets from our viewers. They're quite spectacularly interested in knowing their fate. One of them in particular says he wants to know the lotto numbers. And it brings me to my next question. Is there a link between astrology and luck or karma, as it were?
Yeah, there are certain
Because
periods,
particularly when it comes to lotto numbers, for instance.
Yeah, I was actually given the lotto numbers once. I just didn't buy the ticket, which was a bit stupid. But there are
Were the numbers correct?
They were.
Ha.
But there are people who can see the numbers. They can actually see what is coming up. So it's a gift. We all have our different psychic gifts, our different intuitive gifts. There are people who are able to see what the lotto numbers are going to be. The way that the actual numbers come up is fairly random. What people who can predict them can do is they can see the results before they happen. So the whole thing is that time is an illusion. So if we tune into if you tune into a specific lane of energy and you think, okay, where does this go to? And you just look at the outcome of it.
Do they always get it right, though, or does it depend on the shift of the planet, as you put it?
Yeah. Look, I must say there are some people who are born very, very lucky, some people who are born very, very intuitive. You know, it's like some people are born Beethoven. We can't all be Beethoven, but we can all learn to play the piano. So some people are born with special talents to do this. And to predict things, different things, or to know about different things, or whatever it is. But what did you ask me?
About lotto. Yeah, do they always get it right, or does it depend on where the planet is at that particular instance where they play the lotto? You
know, when you have that kind of gift, the more you practice it, the more you use it, and the more you trust yourself, the more correct you will be. I think, yeah, pretty much you can do it all the time once you get the hang of how to use your gift. But like any talent, it has to be practiced and used.
Mm. So do you know of any psychic who always gets the lotto number right?
I knew one, but she died.
Oh, no.
Very inconsiderate of her.
All right, let's go back to the star signs. Where were we? We Taurus, yeah.
Yeah, we were, I think we did, anyway, Taurus, yeah. Taurus, as I say, needs to stand up for yourself, and even if you're afraid, take a stand about things that everybody's attacking you about. Because Taurus likes things to stay the same. So you have to face old issues that you've been avoiding and be ready to blast into change, learn to enjoy your body. Romance and love is fantastic for Taurus, and new ways of making money for Taurus. Taurus is very good at making money and investing and keeping and whatever, so hang around a few of those if you want some tips. Okay. But they also have very expensive taste. Mm. So, you know, money tends
I know one, yeah.
Yeah. Indeed.
All right, Gemini?
Gemini. Gemini. Look, Geminis are lunatics at the best of times. Ooh. So
now I disagree with you for the first time in the duration of this interview.
And the one thing about Geminis is that your boredom threshold is very low. Geminis get bored. So it's almost that you're sometimes motivated to actually create drama just to keep your life interesting. So that's something that you have to be aware of, because, you know, sometimes you just want to allow things to happen the way that they need to instead of stirring up the pot. However, so again, nothing settled this year, everything changing. Mm. However, lots of job opportunities, career shifts, fabulous things happening in the career. Love life is relatively quiet, although it improves in the second half of the year. But, you know, Geminis are you married?
Not yet. Well, I've got nothing against marriage, but not yet.
Hopeless. Geminis are hopeless at commitment. However.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I should know.
You know, but, you know, what is the big thrill about commitment? I don't know. Watch your health. Detox is needed. Yep. So that, and also putting your own needs first. Gemini will often try and make everybody else happy and sacrifice their own needs. So you need not to sacrifice your happiness.
Sure.
But money, you know, Gemini and money tend to be easily parted, shall we say. So you can make money, you can bring money into your life, but it also wafts out fairly quickly. So if you Geminis can discipline themselves a little, maybe get some financial education, that would help.
So is it an issue with discipline, you suggest?
It's an issue with lack of interest, actually.
Lack of interest in money or using it?
Okay. No, lots of interest in using it.
Okay.
Lack of interest in managing it. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cancerians need to stop being so sensitive and overreacting to everything and get practical.
Yeah, actually, we've got a viewer who is a Cancerian. Her name is Anati Ntozini. She says, what does her career look like? Because she was born on the 23rd of July, 1986.
23rd of July, 1986?
Yeah.
Well, generally, Cancerians are going to have to get very practical because your money this year depends on you being reliable and follow through. Cancerians are hugely creative this year, but there's going to be a lot of extra responsibility. So the money is going to be used on things that you don't necessarily want to spend it on. Cancerians have to learn to be grateful for all the responsibility. For this particular lady, let's see. I think we're moving into a new career for this particular lady.
Oh, okay.
She's looking at different ways to use her talent. So I would think what you need to do, sweetie, is develop some new skills if you possibly can. Take a few courses at the beginning of the year. By June, July, there will be some fabulous offers, but you'll need to be a bit more all-encompassing about what you're able to do because, you know, Cancerians tend to say, well, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Of course you can do it.
Yeah.
Just give it a bash.
Right.
You know, and read a few books.
All right, Leo?
Leo is reinventing himself because Leo likes to be in the spotlight and likes to be at the center of things. So all of well, 3 out of 5 of the eclipses are in Leo this year. So Leo is being bashed. It's you know, the energies are saying, let's see who else you can be. Let's see what else you can do. Let's see what else you can manage. So relationships are very dramatic because as the Leo changes, everybody around them gets upset and says, what the heck's happened to you? So Leo's going to spend a bit of time on their own, kind of rethinking who they are. The career is shifting with that because their desires are shifting. Yeah. So you won't understand the changes initially, but just go with them. Leo's going to try and control everything as usual, but can't. So it's a matter of allowing the changes to happen to you. And definitely you need a stronger work ethic. Leo never takes anything seriously. And you need to focus on your health. More money in the second half of the year.
Okay. All right.
Virgo,
yeah. That's where spring is. You know what they say, spring brings new beginnings, you know?
Indeed.
Yeah. So how would that affect all Virgos?
You know, Virgos are the cleaner-uppers. Virgos are the ones who manage the earth and manage the way that the world turns. They are fabulous people, but quite difficult to have around because they want things their way or no way. So, you know, learning to adapt is a big Virgo lesson for the year. However, the burdens are lifting off Virgos because they tend to get very burdened because they feel responsible for the entire universe for some unfathomable reason. Okay. However, the energies get very light, much lighter, and so you're more able to cope. Virgo, you're always going to be rescuing the world and you know, helping out. That's part of who you are. But you need to use that sharp mind to learn some new things and expand your skills, because money is plodding this year. It's not huge amounts, but it's plodding along. By next year, we're looking at much bigger financial input. Health improves. You know, learn to be a little selfish this year, Virgo.
Oh, yeah?
Learn to say no.
Oh, yeah?
Just, you know, no.
Okay.
Libra.
Libra
Libra's fabulous year, very prosperous, lots of opportunities to make or get or be given money. Librans are always charming and everybody always wants to give them things. So, you know, not necessarily inheritances, but gifts and whatnot, but certainly opportunities to get more money. Lots of extra family responsibilities, which Libra's not so keen on, so you need to be okay with that. Changing friendships. Libra loves to be surrounded by people and helping friends through your drama, so try not to get involved in their drama or else you end up, you know, getting enmeshed and getting
being the drama.
Yeah. So just help at a distance, stay detached a little.
Yeah. Scorpio.
Yeah, Libra's always in love. A Libra without a lover is, you know, doesn't exist.
Yeah. Scorpio?
Scorpio.
Yeah.
Scorpio, fabulous. Well, Cyril's a Scorpio. Yeah. Beginning of a prosperity cycle, what can I say? Well, you know, it certainly helps. Certainly you see the energies reflected by your leaders, yeah. So we've got the beginning of a prosperity cycle. The prosperity energies are shifting in, have shifted in fact, and are there for the whole year. So you know, the cycle's about a 12-year cycle, but it starts now and there's wow stuff of really big opportunities, even if they're not necessarily apparently appealing in the immediate moment. They will improve. Money's rolling in, great year for studying, learning new things. Not strong for career specifically, but more about course correction. So having another look at where is my niche, what am I happy with, is this what I want to be? Yeah. What's your love life? A bit of a disaster. Well, you know, tested.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially between May and November. And also you need to ask yourself, Scorpio, are you still in your relationship because you want to be, or because, you know, you're afraid of being alone, or because you can't be bothered to get off your bum? That kind of thing.
Right. Now, in the beginning of this interview, we delved deeper into politics, and you just said that, you know, I think you have you're giving a very good projection of Cyril Ramaphosa, and you've just said that 2018 will be an absolutely fantastic year for the country. Would it set the tone, though, for 2019 elections? Because one of our viewers, his name is Nepsta Khaunewe, says he's just asking how will the country stand politically and who will win in 2019?
You know, there's going to be a lot of rearrangement of parties and leaderships and shuffling and alliances formed. So there's going to be some real chaos in terms, politically speaking. But I don't think the ANC is finished yet. I think the ANC will be running the country for a little while yet. So I'm pretty much sure that Cyril will be our president.
Okay.
And that he'll be a lot better than what we've had.
Okay.
Although he's a very, you know, he's a dark horse. He doesn't forgive, he doesn't forget, but he does like to appease. So he's very careful about the way that he manages people. And also he wants people on his side. So bear in mind he's going to have to make deals. I mean, with the likes of the fabulous David Mabuza, you know. So no
is
more.
He objective, though?
He's not.
Is he assertive? Because a person who normally likes appeasing people is often referred to as subjective, you know.
Yeah.
Can't stand his ground.
Look, he's much stronger than he looks, but he's very, very patient. So he's doing a lot of deals behind the scenes. He's roping in people that he doesn't necessarily want to rope in because he needs their support. And he may not appear to be as assertive as he actually is. He's making things happen.
Okay.
But, you know, we're not necessarily sure they're always the things we want to happen.
Yeah.
And
so are your predictions cast in stone? What I mean by this is that, is your prediction for the next 12 months or so, or do they change during the course of the year?
Look, it's pretty clear to me where the energies are and where the cycles are and where the focus is. The actual outcome will depend on the individuals concerned. I mean, who knows? Cyril Ramaphosa could have a spiritual awakening and say, I'm only going to operate with integrity. So, and then we would have a different outcome. So there is a possibility of a change depending on how people grow and how they use their own gifts and their own abilities. But what we tend to look at is the behavior up until then, the personality of that energy or that country or that person, and this is what is likely to happen. You know, a miracle can happen any time. And certainly one of the things that our country will be looking at this year is how do we produce better? How do we use our energies better? How do we manage water better? We're going to have flooding, droughting, that sort of thing, droughts. So that could push a shift. But certainly, ultimately, any leader wants power and control, because otherwise what's he doing there? That's what he wants. So we as a people have to find a way to manage the energies and the resources of our country better ourselves, and to work with each other and develop little communities and develop different ways of sharing services and to help each other, you know.
I'm glad you mentioned drought. In the Western Cape, things are not looking so good. How would 2018 be for the province?
I think, they're going to start seeing some rain, but, you know, the difficulty is that because we're such an extreme country, we tend to do things in such extremes. It'll probably be a flood, you know. So the management of our water is very important. We need to learn how to manage our water better. So there will be water in the Cape. In fact, didn't our wonderful Sangoma out over there, our weather guy, say that there would be water in March or something? So there certainly will be. But I think we're looking at floods and droughts alternating, and we have to learn to manage our water. It's a vital resource, and it's going to be what our country's about, ultimately, is management of water.
All right. Now, Linda, do you often disagree with fellow astrologers or psychics about a certain prediction?
You know, I'm not in the habit of arguing with them, really. Generally, no. Generally, no. I tend to have great respect for other people. It's just that everybody will interpret what they see depending on who they are and how their mind works, I guess. But I think generally we're coming to pretty much the same kinds of conclusions as a group, if we are a group.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you know, we're not a bunch of people who fight with each other. I suppose there's ego involved, you know. I'll get upset if everyone disagrees with me, but...
Well, won't we all?
I like to be agreed with.
Yeah. All right, let's now go back to our signs. Let's take a look at Sagittarius.
Sagittarius?
Yeah.
Sagittarius, you know, Sagittarians are generally the sign that is blessed by the angels. They're always lucky whenever there's drama. They're always the ones that are pulled out at the 11th hour. They're taken care of. They're great people. And so this year is a particularly great year for Sagittarian energy. Money's fantastic, but of course what is required of the Sag is discipline and structure, because there's a focus on success and wealth, but Sagittarian energy can't usually be bothered. They're usually interested in some obsession that they have, or some spiritual learning, or some academic learning, or travel, or whatever it is. They're not interested in discipline, structure, focus, managing money. But that's what they need to be doing this year if they want to make the most of the money opportunities that are available now. Okay. Also, a change in core beliefs, very wicked love life, you know. So anyone involved with a Sag, watch carefully. They're not to be trusted.
Sure. That's deep.
Well, actually, you know, not to be trusted. They're just a little wicked. Too much commitment.
Can you foretell your own destiny as an astrologer, or do you have to rely on fellow astrologers?
Yeah, sure. I can have a look at my own chart. But I mean, I firmly believe that the more we empower ourselves, the more we can take charge of our destiny on a daily basis, the more we can say, okay, today I'm going to attract more money into my life, or today I'm going to attract love into my life. And we can literally do that as we become more powerful, as we become more aware of how powerful we all are. Okay. But sure, I can look at my own chart and make predictions. I'm not that subjective. I mean, I'm not that objective. But sure.
So if I want to be like you, what do I do?
All of us should learn a spiritual language, in my view, because then it helps us read energies. It helps us understand the people who are around us and the circumstances we're in. There are a million different opportunities to learn astrology, numerology, tarot. Depending on how much time you have, astrology takes a good couple of years to learn just how the language works, because they're all just languages of energy. And if you learn the language, then you obviously develop your vocabulary and you interpret that language according to your own personal needs. Okay. But there are a thousand teachers, and also the way that energy works is once you want a teacher, one will appear, you know.
So how do viewers get hold of you?
Me? Email. Okay. Linda at Linda at Hixnet, HIXN for Nelly ET.co.za.
Okay, Linda at Hixnet.co.za.
Yeah.
All right. Linda, sure, you've been absolutely amazing. I'm dumbfounded. I'm blown over. But then thank you so much. We really appreciate your time on Morning Live.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here.
Many thanks to astrologer Linda Shaw, giving us some insights into what to expect in the zodiac for 2018. Whoa, beautiful, beautiful interview that was. Let's now take a short break, and we're back with your headlines shortly thereafter.